Hey guys, Peter here to do a review today. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new album from He Is Legend, White Bat, out June 28th on Spine Farm Records. The album has 11 tracks, 41 minutes in length, and this is the band's 6th full-length album. They say that they feel like they're one of the most underrated bands in metal today, and after listening to this album, I have to agree with their assessment. These guys are really talented, they're really good, and they really put together a strong record. This album is a concept album. It's inspired in a crime classic called I'll Be Gone in the Dark. So there is a fictional character, he's a killer, and his nickname is White Bat, and that's where you get the name of the album. So everything about this record revolves around that story, revolves around that character, and it really takes you on a journey. You're really going into the mind of a killer, you're going into a journey into darkness, into the abyss, and the music sometimes is not as reflective of that as I thought it would be going in. I really thought that you were going to get an album that had a lot of darkness to it musically, a lot of darkness to it, a lot of a somber feel, but they were really able to construct an album that has music that provides you with almost an uplifting mood, even though sometimes the lyrics have a very dark undertone to them. And add to that, they also have the ability to create songs and construct songs that change on a dime, that perhaps the first half of the song has one vibe, one mood, and then the second half it changes on a dime. Almost representative of a mind of someone who's not stable, someone who's either bipolar or has some sort of a disorder, who's 1 minute happy and go lucky and friendly, and the next minute a savage killer willing to strip somebody's life away. So the whole album, the way the album is put together, the way the songs are structured, the way everything feels, it really feels to me that it's coming from that place. A place where there's a little bit of a loss of identity. You don't know where you are and who you are necessarily on any single turn. 1 minute you're one thing, the next minute you're another. So while the music overall has a much uplifting vibe to it, like I said, the lyrics are very dark. There's a very dark undertone, a very dark belly to the record. But the music has a way of not describing that necessarily that mood that you get from the lyrics, but rather what's inside of one's head. So I really feel that when you look at this record overall, you're really getting a concept all the way through. You're getting a concept from a lyrical perspective, but they're going beyond that as far as the music is concerned. The music is there more than just telling a story. The music is there to really give you a set of mind. It's really there to give you an idea of what's going on inside the character's brain. As far as the style that you're going to get on this record, I think you're really going to get a real wide variety of genres, a really wide variety of styles. You're going to get anything from pure rock and roll to Alice in Chains kind of riffs to some Pantera style grooviness. So you're really going to get a wide variety of stuff. Every single song has a different style to it. Every single song offers something else, but almost every single song gives you that twist. That little twist that you think the song is going in one direction and then suddenly it changes the mood completely. Either going from more aggressive to more melodic, or going from more melodic to way more aggressive. There's always a twist with every single track, but as far as the actual music is concerned, you're really going to get a wide variety of styles. Like I said, anything from rock and roll to Alice in Chains, Motorhead to Pantera. You're really going to get a little bit of everything. You're going to get a little bit of a vibe from all of these different bands, from all these different influences throughout the record. Now, I felt that vocally this album was really strong. It had more, on a vocal side of things, it had more of a pure rock and roll vibe with some pinches of aggression here and there. But vocally, the album is really strong. It's really even keeled. There are some spices here and there. There are some songs where you get a little bit more of a growl, a little bit of a harsh vocal here and there. But overall, is a very strong, pure rock and roll sounding record, especially coming from the vocal side of things. From the music, I already said there's a wide variety of styles at play. Overall, this is a very strong record. A record that's full of mood. There's moodness in the air when you listen to this album. It really makes you travel through the story, makes you travel through the character, makes you travel through the lyrics. This is a record that really takes you on a journey. It's a record that has a lot of swings, has a lot of mood swings. There's a lot of swings in the music, swings in the lyrics, swings in the overall delivery of the songs. So this is a record that's very unstable. It's not that kind of record that from song 1 to song 11 you kind of have an idea of where it's going, and it's not linear in its approach. It's very dynamic. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of things coming in you. I would say the main constant throughout the record is definitely the quality of the vocals. The vocals are absolutely phenomenal on this album. But I also enjoy the diversity from the guitar. I really enjoyed the diversity of sound, the diversity of styles, the diversity of riffs, what they did with the songs, how they placed them in the record, and even with how the guitars worked so well with the drums and bass. This is an album where you're going to get a lot of bass coming through to the forefront. It's not hidden in the background. And that to me is really important because it really emphasizes, it gives the songs some underlying heaviness without having to be extremely heavy. It gives the songs some heaviness. Overall, this is a really well structured, really well put together record, and to me was a really enjoyable experience to sit down and listen to this album. I was mesmerized song after song. I really got into it and I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the dynamics. I enjoyed the changes. I enjoyed the constant barrage of different things coming at me, not really knowing what to expect, not really knowing where the record was going with the next song, because there was always a twist, almost like in a movie. There's always a twist, there's always a turn, something you're not expecting, but that is what keeps you engaged. That's what keeps you glued to the album. As far as songs are concerned, I picked 3 songs, not necessarily because they're my favorite, just because I felt that these 3 songs specifically had something different to offer. I'm going to start with Burn All Your Rock Records. I really like this song because it starts off pretty much as a rock song, a pure rock and roll song, almost with some Motorhead vibes to it. The way the guitar riffs and vocals come along, it creates a little bit of a heavy overtone to it, but it still has that rock and roll vibe. It has that rock and roll DNA to it. They're really able to do that throughout the record, create songs that are heavy without necessarily being heavy. So they did that with this one. Halfway through the song turns. There's a twist, there's a turn, and it becomes a lot heavier. The riffs become heavier. Even the vocal approach becomes a lot different than what you got in the first half. I would say that there's a twist there that almost makes the song sound like an Alice in Chains song. Not only from a riffs perspective, but even from the vocal delivery. It was reminiscent of Alice in Chains throughout that second half of the track. The way the vocals came across, the way they sounded, the way the guitar riff sounded. It was almost like this song was a Motorhead song to start off with, and then it finished off as an Alice in Chains song. That's the vibe that I got from this track, but I really like that dynamic, and more important, I like that twist, that turn that I was not expecting, and you're not expecting when you start listening to this song, and the way the song starts, almost like I said, as a pure rock and roll song. You're not expecting the song to take a U-turn and go in a complete different direction. Another song is Eye Teeth. This is a more rock song throughout. It's a rock song with some bite as far as the guitar riffs are concerned. They have the ability to do that, and I really like the fact that they create rock songs that have a little bit more aggressiveness to it, but they never lose that pure rock component. And this is one of those songs. I really like that. It has a great melody, specifically in the chorus, both from the guitars and from the vocal delivery. And this is one of those songs where the bass really comes through. The moment you start listening to this song, you really start noticing how much of the bass is coming to the forefront. It comes and goes almost in waves, but you could always hear it there. It's a presence from the beginning all the way to the end. I like that. I like the fact that you could get a lot of the bass out of this track. Also, on the second half of the song, this song becomes a lot heavier, and it heavies it out all the way to the end of the track. You never really guess that it's going that way because of the way the song is structured at the beginning. But there's a change in mood, there's a little bit of a twist to the story, and it requires a song to become slightly heavier, almost like you're getting angry, almost like the character is having an outburst. So the same way that those feelings are there, those feelings are then represented in the music. Last but not least, Skin So Soft. The reason I picked this song, more than the music behind it, I really like the nice guitar lead intro into the song. But more than the music, the reason I picked this track was because of the darkness of the lyrics. It almost reminded me of a little bit of That Skin Mask and the darkness that Slayer song has in it and its lyrics. Even though that song also starts off with almost a spoken word part. This one doesn't have that. It has a lead in to the chorus. This starts off with the chorus as far as the vocals are concerned, but it has a guitar lead into that's very beautiful, very, very melodic. In some parts, almost psychedelic to a certain point. And then you get blasted with a chorus. So this song spoke to me from a lyrical perspective. It has such a dark mood. It has dark lyrics. It's telling a really dark story, but it's told in such an uplifting way. At least I would say in the 2/3 of the song, it has a very uplifting vibe. Very melodic in the chorus, from both musically and vocally. It's very melodic in the chorus, a lot heavier in the verses. There's a lot more a sense of being angry in the chorus, so there's a little bit more aggression in the in the verses. So there's a little bit of a sense of being angry, a little bit more aggression in the chorus, and then it switches off to in the verses, and then it switches off to more melodic in the chorus. So it has, at the beginning, it has that dynamic of really strong, like I said, more raspy, more aggressive verses versus a more melodic chorus. And it starts off with the chorus, so it kind of gives you that melodic intro, which extends the guitar intro that the song has. And then there's a complete change. The song becomes extremely heavy towards, I would say, the last third of the track. It gets really heavy, almost like the song to me felt that you're trying, as a character, you're trying to convince somebody of something. You're trying to convince them to do something for you. The moment you realize that you can't convince them of that, you completely let that mask go. You drop the mask. You no longer have to fake and pretend to be someone you're not, and you can be yourself. And that's when the song becomes really aggressive, really angry, becomes really heavy. And I feel that that's just a pure representation of not only the lyrics, but where the story was going, of how the mood of the character, the mood of the momentum was all about. So because of that, and because of the darkness of the lyrics, that's why I really wanted to mention this song, because it spoke to me immediately the moment I started listening to the record. All right, guys, this is it. This is He Is Legend, White Bat, out June 28th on Spinefarm Records. Like I said before, this is a very well put together record. If you like pure rock and roll, if you like rock and roll with a little bit more of a bite, with a little bit more aggressiveness, if you like bands like Alice in Chains, you definitely should check out this record, because I really think it's going to check a lot of boxes for you. They're very underrated, but this is an extremely well put together record, both musically, lyrically, and then when you get really good delivery vocally on the album, you have an overall really solid record. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts on the band, on the album in the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.